news. Well, I'm not really going to get into too much of this. It's a lot of political stuff, but let me just say there's been a new law passed in Florida that all electrical utilities have to be buried. I think that's a smart law. I don't know why all the northern states don't do that with ice storms and all this kind of stuff. I don't know why they just don't bury everything. Sure, it's going to cost more, but in the long run, it saves people a lot of money. Summerfield woman victim of fraud after wallet stolen at village's estate sale. Trucks destroying main arteries in the villages. As slowly and surely as those cream-filled donuts are one by one ruining your main arteries, so too are those 18-wheel tractor trailers destroying the main arteries of the villages. A recent drive down Morris Boulevard from Sumter Landing south to County Road 466A was all you need to see and feel under your car's wheels. To know that these large multi-axle trucks are tearing up this main street and its north-south parallel partner Buena Vista Boulevard. As I walk Buena Vista on a regular basis, I see firsthand the 18-wheelers winding their way north and south, some obviously hauling food, supplies for other restaurants. For the restaurants, I get it. But then there's the others that have no business in the villages, just taking a shortcut to 441, 466, 466A. Listen, I don't know where you're getting your idea here. What do you mean they have no business being in the villages? These are public roads. They pay taxes for that road. I understand your complaint, and I'm not really saying I disagree with everything you say, but that statement right there is what gets rumors started, and you're all way off base here. Let me read that again. But then there are others that have no business in the villages. First of all, 468, 466A, 466, 44, they're all public roads. Second of all the roads that's in your neighborhood, wherever you live, is a public road. Anybody can drive through there. They don't need your permission. The villages can't stop it. They're paying taxes. The only thing you can do is go to a commissioner or somebody like that. I don't know who it would be actually. And you can have weight limits put on certain roads. That's what other towns did. And that stops the big trucks from going through there because of the weight limit. So if you've got a bridge or a low tunnel or anything like that, they can actually develop a truck route or put a restriction on trucks on where they can and cannot go. But in the meantime, you better get used to the idea that you're not in the villages, really. The village is just the name of the town, kinda. It's a public road. The squares are public. They're not private. There's really not a whole lot you can do about it. But do I agree with some of what he says? Yes, I do. The roundabouts are too small for large trucks. The way they build roads here is not like they do up north, and with the hot weather especially, and if you talk about semi trucks and dump trucks down, there's nothing you're going to do about that because they're building houses, they're moving dirt. There's nothing you're going to do about that. You might as well just forget it. That's part of the price you pay. But about other trucks doing it for shortcuts, you think it's bad now? Wait till they put that ramp on the toll road right there where you can exit off to Finney, right there. Wait till they get that industrial park built down there just south of Finney. And then trucks are going in and out and in and out all day and maybe half the night long. Wait till that happens. Could be a few years down the road, but it's already been announced. Getting a new restaurant. It just seems like the restaurants is, after a while, I get kind of bored with it. We either get new barbecue restaurants all the time, here and there. We get new pizza restaurants here and there. And let me just say about that, I've been here 5 years. I've been to 100 different pizza places. I have never, ever had what I would consider to be a good pizza anywhere. Now, that being said, everybody, no matter where you're from, has an idea of what their pizza is. New York pizza, Chicago pizza, all these different kind of pizzas. I'm looking for the pizza that I'm used to in Indiana. Every time I go back, I go to these places all the time because I miss it really bad. I don't know why, but I do. My wife does too. We eat our fill while we're there, and we're going to on this trip, guarantee it. So we're looking for something kind of like that. Haven't even come close anywhere. Now, does that mean the pizzas here taste bad? I'm not saying that. Pizzas here all have a good flavor, but they're all this, I don't even know how to describe it. 1, 2, maybe 3 topping things. And when you get an all-meat pizza, there's hardly no meat on it at all, unless they consider all the pepperoni as meat, because that's not the meat I'm looking for. They have like a little dabs of hamburger or maybe sausage, just a little dab here and a little splots there, and the cheese is on the bottom. It's not melted on top of the pizza like I'm used to, and I haven't had a good pizza in 5 years since I've been here, and that includes all of them. Anybody that's watching this is going to send me suggestions. I know you are. I've been to it probably. I've been to all of them. In the villages, outside the villages, between here and Ocala. I've been to all these places. Get a pizza. We sit there, my wife and I, and we split it. And we both agree, it tastes okay, but it's not what we're looking for. So what we got new here? Here we go. Dickey's Barbecue to open up Thursday in Lady Lake. Sure, there's an awful lot of barbecue places. I'll tell you another one, Mexican restaurants. It just seems like there's Mexican restaurants. Every time you turn around, there's a new Mexican restaurant here, a new one over there. The only other restaurant that I know, when I first moved here, almost nobody had breakfast, believe that or not. No country club served a breakfast. They just didn't do it. I don't know why they didn't do it. But then as time went on, and they opened up Lake Sumter Landing, and then they opened up Brownwood, all these country clubs all started doing this breakfast buffet thing, which is okay. I'm not a fan of it. And I'll tell you why I'm not a fan of it. Because in the summertime, it's not so bad. In the wintertime, when the snowbirds are here, every Tom, Dick, and Harry goes up there, and they're standing in line. By the time you get your eggs made, and you get your other stuff that's in the buffet line, and you sit down, your food's already cold. I don't like that. I just don't like that. So I just don't go to them. And once I went to the buffet line, and there was some old lady walking around the fruit area with a fork, and she was stabbing strawberries and putting them in her mouth and taking that same fork and going next to cantaloupe, like she was tasting stuff. And she'd stab it and put it in her mouth. And I decided, Dan, I'm done with it. I'm not coming to a buffet anymore. So I'm not a big buffet fan. I really like a waitress or waiter come to the table, take my order, serve it fresh, leave them a good tip, and I develop a rapport with that waiter or waitress. And I've done that with many restaurants here, and I get treated very well because I tip very well. I don't even hardly go to breakfast in the villages anymore. People's asked me about it. 2J's used to be kind of a go-to place for breakfast, but since they sold out to this other new company a couple of years ago, the breakfasts have really went downhill. It's cheaper. I don't mean price-wise. You used to get 4 strips of bacon. Now they got it down to only 2. The bacon used to be, I don't know if it was hand cut or not, but it was a lot thicker. I liked it. It had a really good flavor to it. Now it's this paper-thin microwave crap. The eggs, I swear to God, the eggs taste like somebody's cracking them and they're microwaving them. That's what they taste like to me. I get my eggs usually over easy. I swear they taste like they're microwaved. And the toast tastes like it was toasted early this morning and buttered, and by the time I get it, the toast feels limp and soggy, you know what I mean? And even the bacon. Bacon tastes like it was all made early this morning and been laying around, and when I get it, it doesn't have that crisp taste about it. It's all limp and I don't even like going to 2J's anymore. I think that place is awful. I wouldn't recommend it for breakfast. That's just my take on it. But I do like Daryl's. Daryl's is an upcoming place. It's been coming for a few years now. And he started with 1, and then he went to 2. I don't know how many he's got now. I think he's got 4 or 5 of them around. I know he's got one in Pinellas. I've been to that one. These Daryl's are not fancy. They're very clean. The food's very good. It's a sit-down waiter, waitress kind of place. They're very crowded for breakfast, I guarantee it. They got counters where you can eat the counter too. I like Daryl's. My favorite Daryl's, and I don't know why, but it seems to be more and more my favorite, is the one that's in Wildwood. It's on 301. It's a big red building. You really can't miss Daryl's. And whenever we go up to the camper to do work or whatever, if we go up there early enough in the morning. And when I say early enough, if it's 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, I'm probably going to stop at Daryl's and have me some breakfast. And another thing I like about Daryl's is you just go in and find yourself a place to sit and sit down. You don't have to play this stupid trick where a restaurant can be half empty, and yet you got to stand up by the door because the sign says, please wait to be seated. You know what that's all about, right? They just want to divide the customers amongst the different waitresses or waiters that's working there, so each one of them gets so many people, to get their tips and whatever. And that's okay. But generally speaking, when I go to a restaurant that I'm used to, I already know who I'm going to sit, because I'm going to request to sit in a certain person's section, which you got that right to do that. And Daryl's, it's not that way. You just go in, if there's 5 or 6 empty tables, just have a seat. They'll come and get you, and they do. Their service is very, very good. I like Daryl's, and I'm going to continue going there until, like everything else around here, Daryl's decides to sell to some major corporation, and it all goes to hell in a handbasket. Dickey's Barbecue to open Thursday in Lady Lake. Lady Lake, 2 locals, Jonathan and Stephanie Frederick, are bringing together their years of restaurant experience and passion for barbecue to open at Dickey's Barbecue Pit in Lady Lake Thursday. Well, I wish them good luck, but when it comes to barbecue, I'll stand by what I've said. What is it? Oakwood Fire and Grill up on 441. They've also got a smaller one over in Wildwood. Best barbecued ribs, and I know everybody's got your idea what barbecue is. West barbecue, East barbecue, South barbecue, Texas. I know. But I've taken many people to Oakwood Grill, Fire Grill, and everybody's told me the food was great. So that's my go-to barbecue place. Well, I think that's going to be it for the news right now. I could make this go on forever, but I got to start cutting these things down, because I noticed by my analytics that usually after about 10 minutes, 12 minutes, people start shutting it off. Either they're getting bored, don't want to hear it no more, or the average attention span is getting shorter and shorter. So I'm just going to cut this thing off, and maybe we'll do another news, the following Friday. So I'll get this thing edited. Drink a little bit of wine today, and try to get things tucked up a little more. And other than that, I'll see you guys on the other side.